Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another review. This time is the Mezco 112 Collective Aquaman from Justice League. Let's get started at this party. First and foremost, I want to start by saying this looks absolutely wonderful. It's a gorgeous look to it. I like the armored look. I really wish we would have gotten a classic look, especially with the announcement of showing off the new armor for the movie. I would have really liked that. But I'm really happy with this look as well. So, it's one of those things where, you didn't see it coming because it was already in production, like a whole year and a half ago. So there's not much you can do to change that. So instead, let's talk about the here and now. Anyway, this head sculpt is so dope. And I'm going to pop off the head to leave the body here so it can look really nice. You do that. All right. One thing I want to talk about is the Aqua Bro's head is really, really cool. It's pretty much, it looks exactly like him. I think that is one of those things where they nailed it perfectly. The hair is soft like Wonder Woman's, so you don't have to worry about it breaking or ripping. It's soft, fits on the body really, really well. And if you have spare Mezco bodies and you like this head sculpt, you can put Jason Momoa and make him, from one of his other shows where you can make him a lumberjack with a Punisher body. There's tons of potential with that. But I really like how good the head sculpt is, and I hope to show that off in photos because it doesn't just show how good it is in video. So yeah. Next up, we're going to talk about the armor and articulation, the thing that I am known for and the thing that I like the most. So the head can look up and down. It's pretty much halted a little bit by the hair, but because it's soft, you can move it out the way anyway. So you can tilt left and right. You can tilt down. You can look up. The looking up part is probably the only drawback. So for swing poses, this is about as far as you'll get. But you can actually look down pretty well. You can tilt side to side with a little bit of force. Don't get excessive, but yeah. Anyway, the arm can rotate all the way up. It can't go around, obviously, because it's stitched on the clothing, but the articulation would allow it to do so. The arm is single jointed. Technically, it's double jointed, but there's armor in the way. When you peel away all this armor, I'm pretty sure you have a great amount of articulation. But because it's actually like real armor, it's going to hinder it. So these are about as far as the arm goes up. If you really want to be a little excessive, you push the armor up a little, you get a little bit of extra articulation. There is bicep swivel as well that rotates. You can actually rotate left to right a little for the head of the armor. Because this armor is all one piece, it completely cuts out his ab crunch. Completely cuts it out. So that is one of the drawbacks of this figure. While looking really good, it's not going to function as well as you want it to. Strictly because most of his articulation is cut off in this one piece unitard that he has going on. The Atlantean armor. I shouldn't make fun of it, but yeah. The shoulder pads are connected to the arms, so you don't have to worry about it getting too far in the way. It hinders them from going up this way, but you can just push the arm up a little and rotate it above the armor to get extra articulation. Same on both sides. Like I said, the hair shouldn't get in your way. So if you really wanted to, you can obviously lift them up really high. Like I said, bicep swivel as well. As far as the leg articulation goes, you can actually lift the leg up pretty far. So you can get them down in a sitting pose if you want to put them in a Batmobile. The legs are double jointed. Not too hindered, actually, by the articulation of the armor. And even here, like, even though it's held up a little, because this is a little bit softer, you can actually get a little leeway here and rotate it. So you actually can get them in a semi-crouching pose if you want to do some cool poses for a guy in armor. So you actually can get a much better pose. But like I said, you're a little hindered because you don't have the excessive ab crunch that you would want to need for a guy in this type of armor. But as you can see, I'm pushing it a little to its limits, and we can get a very much a decent pose out of it. I can show him with his trident. It'll actually look a lot better, but as you can see here, it looks okay. Not bad. This is not connected to anything, so if you want to lift this up, it's totally fine. You can actually rotate. There is a thigh swivel as well, so you can actually rotate it in as well to get a better range of articulation. The ankle pivot's actually really good on this one, especially for a Mezco. The feet are a bit thinner, but it's actually really nice. It rotates up and down a little as well. I don't know. I have this fond likeness for this one, even though it's a lot more hindered. Just like with Wonder Woman, I was torn in between because it's one of those things where, although it looks really good, it doesn't function as well as I would like it to. But I think for a lot of poses, it's going to be able to photograph really, really well in some static poses. So as you can see here, he looks really good in a static pose. And as far as the accessories and the things that he comes with, there's stuff like the trident, which actually looks really nice. I figured this would be a lot more gold, but it's more of a pale and muted silver. It has a nice semi-gloss to it. and it's a little bit worn at the top, so you can see a little bit of wear and tear and battle damage, or should I say a black wash here. But to me, that looks like wear and tear from rust and using it. It's really nice. And don't worry about it being really difficult and break. It's actually a little bit of soft plastic. So this one is actually a little bit more harder plastic, but up front it's a little softer. Next up, we have the mother box of Atlantis that he comes with. This is pretty cool. It's just a mother box. It does absolutely nothing, but it looks really good. Next up, we have open palm hands, 2 of each, that look really cool. These can be used for attacking, grabbing, swimming, whatever it is you want to do, reaching out. These are the hands for it. Then you have actual swim hands, which is given to him. Because he can raise his arms at a decent level, this would look good swimming, and swimming poses for other people. And next up, we have hands for holding items, such as the trident. So yeah, these are soft plastic, so if you feel like you can't get it in, you can just open it up. Voila. All in all, I like this Aquaman a lot, but I wish it was a bit more posable. But considering, this was when this was announced for Justice League, it's one of those things with just like Wonder Woman, it's a little bit past its time, but I do like it a lot. Again, is it worth the $80? That really depends on you. I like it enough to keep it because it definitely has a nice look to it. It can photograph well, and totally I could use the MoMA head to do a bunch of other things so I could look cool, right? Why the hell not? In the meantime, though, let's talk about comparing them with other lines, height-wise. So here he is next to an SH Figure Arts Captain America. Has some custom parts to him. Shout out to RK2 Troopers. I appreciate the Wakanda shields, and shout out to Old Boy for the custom head. As you can see, he is a bit bigger than the SHF Cap, but they look really good together. Aquaman looks a little bit more buffer and bolder and just more eloquent, while Cap is a little bit more lean, but they do look very well together. Next up, we're going to compare him to Tactical Suit Mafex Batman, where this is where people want to mix and match their stuff. This actually looks like a very good combination between the two. So if you want to worry about how these two look height-wise, I think these two fit in really, really well together. Next to Mafex Superman, though, Aquaman actually looks a bit bigger and beefier, but still looks very good with them. I think he can fit in well if you want to mix and match. Next up, we're going to talk to Mafex Flash, who happens to be about the same size as the SHF one, so I decided not to put him in here. But as you can see here, looks like they'll fit well together. Then we're going to do the SHF Superman, who is smaller, and that's the reason why I wanted to compare him in. So, here's the SHF Superman, who is smaller. And as you can see here, it significantly shows. So let me pick up Aqua Bro, who had a little fall down because of Superman. Here he is with SHF Wonder Woman, who I think should be a tad bit smaller and leaner because of the Gal Gadot thing, but she might be a little too small. But I think she does work in photos very well, so I'm going to keep her around in this mixed set that I have going on. Next up, we have the 1000 Toy Synthetic Human. And this is like really nice. So these, I need to get more of these. As you can see there, they fit really well. It's really small, but Aquaman is supposed to be a little bit bigger. Especially, they make him seem like he's some sort of super duper human in Justice League. So it definitely works out. Here they are next to an articulated icon ninja, which seem to blend well with just about any and everything, but they actually do seem really small next to Aquaman. Got to keep that in mind. Next up, we're going to compare him to the Mezco Dawn of Justice Batman. Where size-wise, I think these two guys, Batman looks way more beefier than he should. But next to Aqua Bro, I think it's okay. I really do. Next up, a Marvel Legends Spider-Man Noir. Where size-wise, I think they'll compare. This is where they fit in with Marvel Legends. And Mezco does a really good job of fitting in with other American stuff like Marvel Legends, so it's really cool. Shout out to CJ for the custom jacket. I appreciate you, bro. Last but not least, an SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider Kuga. It wouldn't be a complete review for me without one. And as you can see, he towers over Kamen Rider, but, it is what it is. He's a tiny guy, meant to fight wars. But all in all, the Mezco stuff looks great. It doesn't function as well lately, especially with armored characters like Wonder Woman and him. But I know that the ab crunch is there because I've pressed it hard enough so that it can move. but it's being restricted by this plate of armor here in the middle. So it's not like it can't and it's not there. If you press it hard enough, you'll feel the ab crunch move. But again, where you're gonna go with this big 10 of armor, right? So it's one of those things where it's accurate, but it holds back the figure. So for those of you that want a little bit more articulation, you may want to go with the Mafex. But if you want something that's gonna look absolutely fantastic, you may want to go with the Mezco. You know, you never know. But there's also differences and preferences people have. In the meantime, guys, hope you enjoyed. I hope you found this informative. And most of all, I hope you do good, be good, drink your water. Later, guys.